The way we solve problems has changed and will continue to change as the advancement of technology and the constant influx of information continues.
With the change of technology comes a change in how we solve our everyday problems. An example of how we solve problems differently is how we get our information. As easily as 30 years ago, if you needed to find information for a research paper, you had to go to your local library to check out a book that you wanted to read in order to write what you wanted inside that research paper.
Looking for your book, reading it, and finding specific information to support your argument within your research paper could take days.
Nowadays, if you want any type of information, you just look it up on the internet. Getting information has transformed from a daily adventure to simply a click of a button. Technology has given people a facility into information that in the past would have been looked for hours. The internet has created channels in which we can explore and learn without having a time restriction.
This is just one example of the many ways in which the internet helps us solve problems. It gives us solutions to our problems every day. When you want to look for directions, where do you go? Google Maps. When you want to order a car, where do you go? Uber, Lyft, etc. When you want to look at your bank statements, where do you go? Your online web provider that has your bank online to check. No matter where you are, the internet has revolutionized the way we solve problems. Without it, some of us wouldn't even be able to function anymore. Technology has changed the way we think and solve problems because most of the time when we have a question or we want to figure something out, the first thing we do is look it up. We go into our phones and input whatever question we may have. This has in turn changed our entire thinking process from having a problem and trying to figure it out yourself to having a problem and using the internet to try to figure it out. This is not necessarily a bad thing, it just has changed the way we deal with things in a greater sense.
Computer scientists are taught how to look at complicated problems in a less complicated light. In computer science, this is called determining scope. If something is out of scope, then it often adds unnecessary confusion and irrelevant data to the problem, making it harder to understand how the problem can actually be solved. Use cases are used to consider the problem from the perspective of different people who will be benefiting from the solution. Boil the problem down into two parts, the physical perspective and the logical one. So abstracting the problem into logical and physical factors, I was able to focus my creativity onto the parts of the problem that were more susceptible to out-of-the-box thinking. We can solve problems faster and reach ahead to a better future. Thank you.
And though technology is super beneficial, it does have some downfalls. With this information age comes a lack of privacy that makes it easy for people to access and take advantage of us as individuals. Every time we are on the internet, we give people the opportunity to hack, steal, and even watch us. The internet has created a cyberspace where a multitude of things are possible. There are problems in every aspect of life, and there are preventative measures that one can take. We can solve these problems by either encrypting our data. Data encryption transforms data into a sort of code so that only people with access to the password or code can read it. Putting really hard passwords on our computers. Putting a hard password makes it very unlikely that you'll get hacked. Or even adding firewalls to prevent any sort of hacking to happen. Firewalls are different because it is designed to prevent unauthorized access to or from a private network. We ourselves can make sure what we open and look for within the internet isn't dangerous. There are a lot of options on how we can solve the problem of the dangers within the internet. But the most basic is that you must comprehend that you yourself must be careful and take precautions against anything that the internet entails. Yes, the internet is dangerous, but it has become essential in our everyday lifestyle in solving problems. It helps us in ways that we may not even realize, and in ways that even 20 years or 10 years ago seemed impossible. And because we are constantly progressing, because we are constantly coming up with new ways of doing things, we are constantly changing the way we think and know how to solve a problem. So solving a problem is not defined in any sort of way, but everlasting and ever changing. The way we solve problems is directly defined by the way we think and what technology and opportunities we have presented in front of us. It was the way that we solved problems in the past that we learned and gained new ways to solve problems nowadays. Technology would not be where it is now if not for the methods we used to solve problems. And in this way, though we have changed and the way we solve problems has inevitably changed, it is still the same.